This is our homily for Sunday, October 12th, the 28th Sunday of Ordinary Time. An atheist was taking a walk through the woods when he was confronted by a grizzly bear charging toward him. As he turned to run, he tripped and fell, yelling out, "Dear God, please help me." A voice came out of the sky saying, "You deny my existence for all these years, teach others I don't exist, and even credit creation to a cosmic accident. Now you want me to help you out of this predicament? Am I to count you as a believer now?" The atheist responded, "It would be hypocritical of me to suddenly ask you to treat me as a Christian, but perhaps you could make the bear a Christian?" "Very well," said the voice. And immediately the bear lowered his paw, bowed his head, and said, "Bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts." The theme of our readings this weekend is gratitude. Gratitude toward God for all the gifts we have received. In both the first reading and the gospel, a foreigner or outsider received the special gift of a cure from leprosy. It's important to remember that the physical ailment was the least of a leper's problems. He or she was ostracized from the family, the community, from any communication with anyone other than another leper. A leper became a non-person. Our first reading starts in the middle of the story of Nahum, a Syrian army commander. It's important to remember what comes before. He is loved by his king but has leprosy. The Jewish slave girl suggests he go to her country for a cure. He comes to the king of Israel, who thinks it's a trap. The prophet Elijah hears of it and asks that the man be sent to him. Elijah won't even come to meet him. He just sends a message. Tell him to wash 7 times in the Jordan River. Nahum is insulted and starts to leave for home. His servants convince him to comply. So he does and is cured, as we just heard. He wants to give the prophet Elijah a monetary reward for his cure, but Elijah refuses the gift, insisting that the credit goes to the Lord. So the man takes a mound of dirt back with him to Syria so that he could worship and give thanks to God on God's own soil. In those days, they all believed that a God could only be worshipped in his own land. So the man takes Israel back to Syria in the mound of dirt. In his gratitude, Nahum becomes a believer and worships the true God. In the gospel story, 10 are cured of leprosy, but only the Samaritan, a despised heretic, comes back to thank Jesus. And his reward for being thankful is salvation. 10 were cured, only 1 was saved. We need to get this. Gratitude brought about the really important result, salvation. Sometimes I think gratitude or saying thanks is falling out of use. 2 examples. More often than not, I do not receive a thank you note from grandnephews and nieces. Their parents must not be teaching them and making them do it anymore as my parents did. And 99 out of 100 times, if I let someone into traffic, I get no thank you wave, and if I do, it's from an old codger like me. It is almost as if the person feels they deserve to be let in, not that I did something kind. When that happens, I feel sad, not for me, but for the person. I think they're missing out on so much by not having learned to express gratitude. 3 words we use often come from the same root: gift, grace, and gratitude. Everything we have is a gift or a grace from God. Expressing gratitude needs to be one of our basic attitudes. In fact, the word Eucharist means to give thanks. Our liturgy of the Mass, the Eucharist, is literally and primarily giving thanks to God for all that He has given us, especially His Son. Being thankful takes us out of ourselves, helps us to remember the connections that are so important in life, both to God and others. And being aware of and thankful to God for His gifts moves us from mine to ours, making it easier to give food to the hungry, to clothe the naked, to visit the sick and the imprisoned, and so on. For we realize these gifts are gifts from God. I invite us to reflect this week on the virtue of gratitude. Do we express thanks to God for His gifts of time, talent, and treasure, not only in words, but especially through sharing? Do we express our gratitude to others as often as we should? Whom do I need to say thank you to this week? And as we reflect, let us thank God for the gift of our pious community as we support each other in prayer. God bless.